So I've said it so many times on my videos that at the end of the day, majority of these young girls who always say, I can't date a man who is not making 500K in a month. I can't marry a man who doesn't have a car. I can't marry a man who doesn't own a house. Majority of them will still end up marrying average guys or even poor guys. That's the truth. Because at the end of the day, there are not so many rich guys out there. There are not so many rich guys out there. And the rich guys, majority of the time, they just want to play around. You see a guy who's dating 5 girls. You see a rich guy who's dating 5 girls. How many can he marry? It's, at the end of the day, is one, unless you're a Muslim. Unless you're a Muslim. Because at the end of the day, what you marry is one. So a girl who says that I can't marry a girl I can't marry a guy who doesn't make 500K. A guy who's making 500K can date you. The problem is, can he marry you? That is why when girls are between the ages of 20 to 25, different men chase after them. Different men who have money chase after them. But when it comes to a point where they need to marry, only few men come for them. And the men who come for them, majority of the time, they don't even want them because those men don't reach to the standard they want a man. For example, a girl who has said all her life, I can't marry a man who doesn't earn 500K, at least 500K a month, who doesn't have a car, who doesn't have a house. In her younger days, this kind of men who have money will chase after her, date her, gift her things, give her attention, all for sex. They would, because the truth is, as men, we don't have a problem dating foolish girls. Because at the end of the day, what most of the guys who date, what they actually want is sex. Now, as the guy is dating you, he is observing you. Because majority of guys who have money, they have sense, because a person who is not smart cannot make money. That's the truth. A man who is not smart cannot make money. So for the fact that he has money, he's smart. So as he's dating you with your ugly character, with your entitlement mentality, he's having sex with you. Then when he wants to marry, he'll go and look for a good girl and marry. Why he will dump your ass. And by the time you are around 27, 28, 29, you start looking for husband. You'll be like, where are the men? Where are the men? The ones who are rich don't find me attractive again. Because see, when a man is dating, and a guy man for that matter, when a man is dating, he can date anything for sex. When it comes to marriage, that is when the man will start looking for character. If you don't have character, that is why these days, anybody can date any girl. Any girl can get a boyfriend. If you like be the worst girl with the worst character, any girl can get a boyfriend. The problem is, can all these girls get a husband, a rich husband for that matter, a guy who has financial value and worth? Because like it or not, when it comes to marriage, men apply a lot of logic, especially if he's a successful man who has built success. No man who is rich is stupid or is dumb. When it comes to marriage, he will properly scrutinize a woman and know if this one is who I'll marry or keep for long-term purposes. If it's for sex, they will date you. They will date you. But the problem is, come and marry. That's the problem. Is where the problem is. So you discover that most of these girls who they are comfortable with their stupid characters, because majority of girls have stupid characters. Characters that you can't even write home about. It's the truth. So when it comes to marriage, it affects them a lot. Because when they were younger, they had breasts, they had ass, so guys were rushing them, not minding their character. Now, if a guy wants to marry, he's not going to look at those things. He will look at first your character. Before he will now start looking at your physical appearance. When a guy is dating, when a guy is about to date, or is about to keep casual girls, first thing he looks at is the body. If you have a nice body, he will tolerate all the nonsense you show him. But when it comes to marriage, he will look at your character. That is why most girls who had long list of boyfriends in their younger days, as they get older, they discover that they cannot marry. Why? Because they lack character. That is where you see them, they'll start running to Shiloh, thinking that Shiloh will cure their character. If you have bad character, no amount of prayer and fasting will cure it. No amount of prayer and worship. If you like, fast from today to next year, it doesn't matter. Your character is your character. And the thing about having bad character as a girl is that no matter how much you try to hide it, it will still come out. Because there are some things that will happen subconsciously, without you even knowing, you will show your true self. And a man who is observing you, who wants to marry you, because when men want to marry, they will observe. They wear their observation eyeglasses, watching you, scrutinizing you, critically looking at you to know if this one is who I will marry, especially if he's a rich man who has many girls who he can marry. Because if a man has money, he has lots of options. At the end of the day, majority of these girls will become frustrated that these rich guys don't want to marry them because of their bad character, and they will have to settle. It's when you see a girl who was telling herself, I can't marry a man who doesn't earn 500k. I can't marry a man who doesn't have a car. I can't marry a man who doesn't have a house. You see her marrying a man who is struggling to even make up to 100k every month. And it will take the grace of God for that woman who had these heavy expectations to not frustrate that young, innocent guy who is trying to manage her. That is why, as a man, before you marry, you have to heavily, intensively, aggressively scrutinize and critically look at that woman you want to marry before you marry problem for yourself. Because majority of men today are suffering because of what they went to somebody's village and used their money to pay as bride price. Majority of men that are dead, majority of men that are suffering today in their marriages are suffering because of what they did. They went to somebody's village and paid for bride price and brought problems or a baggage of problem into their house with their own money. The worst thing that can happen to a man is to use his own money and go and pay for a bride price of what will kill him. Very risky business and very unprofitable.